because I just saw, one of my best friends in the world just popped on the line. To introduce him properly. Jimmy, are you still there? Find out if Jimmy's still there. Jimmy!
Yeah, I'm here, Mike.
Jimmy, would you introduce Greg Morrison?
Is he on? Is he coming on?
He's coming on.
Greg is a master of SEO. He is a very good friend. And, one of the coolest things I thought when we were looking, back at OMG Live, the coolest thing I thought, Greg gets a standing ovation without even doing his presentation.
So I'm now introducing, he hasn't spoken yet, I'm now introducing, ladies and gentlemen, Greg Morrison, the guy who I call the original one-man gang.
That is freaking awesome, but it just goes to show, I mean, Greg is such a good guy, and just all the people he's helped has just been amazing. So, yeah, there's not really any words for him.
Yeah. Cotton, would you pile on? Would you help introduce Greg Morrison?
Absolutely. If it wasn't for Greg, I wouldn't be in the position I'm at. Just to show you his character, and it's something that I'll never forget about him. Greg and I, when we first met at OMG Live, it literally felt like he was a long-lost brother. The first thing that he was worried about when I was speaking for the first time at OMG Live was how nervous I was and would it make me feel more comfortable if he sat up there with me. And I said, you know what, I'm a little bit nervous. And I said it would mean a lot if you would for support. And that's the type of guy that Greg is. Just amazing, always giving, and I'll never forget that. Just constantly thinking about others. But not only that, what a trailblazer, man. Just consistently testing and testing. Greg's work ethic alone is what got me into client getting and what helped me create my system to go out and start testing different methods to try to get clients and ramp that up as fast as possible. If Greg Morrison wouldn't be Greg Morrison, I would not be where I'm at today. So that's the best introduction that I can give him. I'm happy to call him my friend, and I would not be here without him.
I love it. That's perfect. Fletch, are you there?
Yeah, Mike, I'm here.
You introduce Greg Morrison?
Greg, thank you. And I've spoken on numerous occasions. It really is hard for me to talk and thank you enough without getting choked up. I was really looking for some stuff that I could create a life with and really give back. And just in finding your information in some crazy online forum that I was just looking for ways to market my own business, it really opened me up to the potential of not only giving back but of really turning your life around. And getting to know you over these years and work with you is truly one of the greatest honors that I've had a chance to experience. So when I first got involved with OMG, it was, recently married, kid on the way, and it wasn't a great situation that we were in. We didn't make much money at all. I would have found a way to make more money, but it wouldn't have been a good, environment. It wouldn't have been the right environment. And OMG really let me create that. It let me create the household that we have, the family that we have. It let the new baby that we have coming into the family come in the way that it has, with me, being able to be available. And I really want to thank you for that. And the amazing thing is, Greg, just like what Cotton says, he's always thinking about you, and how this is going to help you. The way he teaches this stuff, the way he breaks it down and actually simplifies it to the level where somebody that isn't a genius at SEO can understand it and implement it, has been the biggest benefit, I think, to almost everybody here. and has really set the stage for what we've been able to do going forward with involvement with the Network Empire crew, and it's just a solid foundation to build off of. So I'd just like to thank you and welcome you live here. So thanks.
I'll say this as we bring Greg live. Right now, you're experiencing something special, something that's never been done. This is the OMG New Year online party. This is a Hangout Webby, and I am about to bring to you one of the dearest friends I've ever had, one of the most passionate men I've ever met, one of the most incredibly gifted, unique individuals I've ever met. I will tell you about this, about Greg behind the scenes. I've seen Greg take one thing and one thing only personally. There's one thing that I have seen get Greg angry. And that's something getting in the way of your success. Okay? Greg got the chance that he wanted. It was a chance to be a dad and to give Bryson the childhood that Greg wanted Bryson to have. And Greg wanted the chance to share and to teach. And anything that gets in the way of those things, you better look out, because Greg comes hard. Each year at OMG Live Nationally, each of the 2 years we've done it, as Jimmy said, Greg got a standing ovation before he spoke. He got a standing ovation after as well. Greg doesn't like this stuff. He does not like me doing this right now. Greg is going to let me know not to do this stuff, that I'm embarrassing him, but it's important. And I do it for the best. I do it for the betterment. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Morrison, my dear friend and the guy who I call the original one-man gang. Greg, are you there?
I'm starting to get used to it now.
Greg, I read a letter that you wrote me and David Mills this morning. We enjoyed it tremendously. Thank you very much. By the way, I've been working out. Can you tell?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Really? Or are you
Yeah.
just messing around?
Nah, you can tell.
I've been working hard.
It's hard to tell yourself when you look at the mirror every day. You should
Yeah.
take before and after pictures.
Yeah, but I've been. I was thinking about this today. That it was funny because I think you could get. We were actually, I had a bunch of people on the event before you came on, and I was asking them, because I had just gotten back from working out today and from yesterday. By the way, they when I was there yesterday, they had 3 new clients come in during the hour I was working out from those rankings.
Oh yeah, they shot up quick. And again, that's something that we owe a lot to the Network Empire team. Called this a while ago, and that's they're going to really start honing in on like who's who on the internet. And now, we're seeing that if you're not My Google Business Verified, it's harder to rank. And I can just tell the difference when I'm working on like test sites for local that aren't verified and sites that are verified. There's a huge difference. Like the sites that are verified move a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot smoother. And that's something Network Empire's predicted so long ago. There's so much stuff going on right now that's just awesome. And I guess I'll talk about that when you ask me about it. It's crazy. I do
want to talk about that. That's exactly what I want to talk about. Because the thing is, you sent me and David an email this morning, and it was really something to wake up to, because today's a big day. It's a big day for OMG. This is a party. We're all coming together. We have hundreds of people live right now, enjoying, sharing. This is a moment in time, and you're the rock that we built OMG around, and we're so grateful to you. But you're talking this morning, and I actually read the letter that you wrote to me and David Mills, the first one. You and David Mills went kind of back and forth after that. And you were talking about, you just went through the Network Empire section in Director's Cut, and I read your letter, but you're here now. Can you tell people, put the word out on what you think of that aspect of Director's Cut?
Man, there's so much to say about it. Like I've been working with Jimmy and Sue and Russell for. I mean, I went to the certification event last year, and when I went through the material that they put in there, I was like, oh my God, like they nailed it. Like I had a lot of trouble learning what they taught, even like going to the live event, like spending tons of time with Jimmy and Russell and Sue. But the way that they taught it this time in director's cut is a game changer. And I'm not one to give something a lot of credit like that, but I mean they just did an amazing job. I mean it's going to change so many lives what they taught. Um, like I said, I've been learning this stuff for a year, and I watched and I was like, oh my God, like that's crazy. Like the stuff they're teaching is awesome. It's freaking awesome. And even the guys that were thanking me, Jimmy, Cotton, uh, Fletch, they've been doing it longer because my main focus has been on page, anchor text, and optimization in those terms. And these guys have all gone into that, and all three of those guys have helped me. Fletch just helped me today. I mean, he spent like a half hour talking to me about stuff, helping me with stuff for that. Cotton last week spent an hour on the phone with me. I mean, I texted him 5 minutes later. He called me and was telling me about citations and other stuff I needed to know. And then Jimmy, he's telling me stuff every single day. So those three guys thanking me. What's crazy is I got all these people thanking me that are helping me just as much as that I've helped them. And it's all from just everyone. Like what David Mills has built is crazy. Like there's an expert for everything, and not just an expert, like the best at what they do in every single area, like semantic web, RSS, anchor text stuff, optimization, citation stuff, local, how to get clients. I mean, we have the best at everything. We really do. And even like I said, Fletch today, he was schooling me on some RSS stuff. It's crazy, and it's like my focus has been elsewhere, and he's been able to come in and do that, and he teaches it to me. I can reteach it to other people, and we just had this whole circle where we share everything. We just pass it on to the community. It's crazy how it works. I don't even know how to explain it. How David Mills put this together. Like, it's freaking awesome.
Let's go back to the beginning, because you had an idea to do a best practices ebook, and now we're here. Explain that.
I mean, I had no idea. You know what I mean? I just wanted to get some information out there that, would help people and would also help me make some income. And, I mean, that was my vision. I mean, I'm not a visionary in that sense, so I knew that David, you told me from the beginning, just listen to Dave, just do me a favor, listen to David Mills, let him plan. I'm like, all right, like I don't mind doing that. And from the beginning, he just hasn't steered wrong. He just kind of evolved our business into what it is today. Something which is like a dream. It makes good money for us, but even better, it's it's helping people. I mean, that is the better part. So, I mean, you can always make money. Like I can make money doing affiliate sites. I can make money doing training people, which I love to do, like personal training. But I mean, the feeling of helping people and actually knowing like our information is really the best out there. There's no better feeling.
Yeah. Well, what does it feel like when you get on an event like this or see OMG Live Nashville and get to talking to people? Lloyd Silver walks up to you and it's like, "Hey, 40 grand a month," and or you look at that incredible earnings reports compilation. You talk to Jamal, or you hear from Fletch, or you hear from Gregor Ortiz. What's that been? What's the ride been like for you?
It's just awesome to see people that actually follow through. I think a lot of that's, again, credit to just the system that was put in place by you and David, where, I told you when I was on a webinar for the class I signed up with you that I learned from, you were going through like testimonials, and I was like, oh my God, like give me some content. And I didn't even realize, but what you did is you put in my head that, these people are succeeding with this information, so you can succeed as well. And I didn't even realize it. Like the whole webinar you were talking about, I think 1 or 2 success stories where we're talking about like hundreds now, but same thing. I'm like, if other people can do this, I can do it. This information must work. So just put that in my head, and I think you guys have just multiplied that from what you were doing back then. And you just, from the beginning, when people get to know us, you just set them up right away. Like you set their mind up right away to know that they can succeed, and then when they actually do it, they do, because this information works.
You know, Greg, I you're just weirdly good at getting people to start and keep going. Because I mean, I haven't worked out in 20 years. You know, I mean, I just haven't. And then like a year ago, you got us doing the whole P90 and P90X and insanity thing. And next thing I know, I was doing P90X, and I eventually I kind of dropped off of that. But then I saw you at OMG Live Nashville, and I was like, oh my god, you know, like I've got to work out now. And you know, here I am now. I'm working out 4 times this week, and I somehow I think it just bleeds over. You know, because I see it, you know, in fitness. I see it in business. You know, I see you just getting people to do stuff and you know to just go out there and have the willingness to just put one foot in front of the other, and I appreciate that, and I know that I don't even want you to respond to it because there's not really even a question. I just want to thank you for it. Jimmy said that you and him, and I've seen this myself, you guys are testing like crazy.
I just spent like $2,000 testing in the hour I was waiting to come on. I mean, we're testing like no other. I mean, especially now with like all this stuff that I'm learning, like not even that I'm learning, but that I'm understanding more now. I'm just like, wow, like I just want to find out like, you know, how stuff works and like how we can do this with that, and you know what works with this method. And there's so much stuff to test now. What's going to come in 2015 is it's going to be crazy. I can't wait.
Well, I know that folks at home feel like I do, and I know that in their hearts they're standing up and cheering, and we probably got people yelling at their screens and their family members being like, "This is a little strange. I don't know what's going on," but you're a hero to a lot of people, Greg, and it's like that movie 300, except that you win. And I just I want you to know you've been such an incredible friend to me. I've said this on every webinar that it's such an honor working with you. I know that you had to get your mom come over to help out with things with Bryson, so I want to be able to get you on and off here.
I'm good, Mike. He's in bed. She's going. That was earlier, but you know, if you need me, I'm here. So.
Great. All right. Great. Well, let me get this from you, and then we'll bring you back on later. You know, for somebody who's on here who you know maybe they've been waiting for you to put the word out on Director's Cut, and you know to you know just say thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways, who's it for, who's it not for. You know, you've been through it, and you've worked with a team. What do you think about Director's Cut?
You know, it's funny because I don't think I've ever promoted my own. Like before, you could have never asked me something, I would have said, you know, get it, or at least would say, you know, make sure you're in a good spot or something like that. Well, like what is it in just the Network Empire section? I haven't gotten a chance to go through the rest of it yet. Is just invaluable. Like I told Russell and Sue and Jimmy, I was like, I can't believe you're even teaching this, to be honest. I mean, it's that good. It really is. And then, you know, you got all these coaches. You got Joe, you got Cotton. Fletch isn't doing this one, right? It's Joe, Cotton, Sue, Russell, Jimmy. Those four. Sago. What's that?
Travis Sago.
And Travis Sago. All those people besides Travis, I haven't talked to him much yet, have helped me tremendously in the last couple months. I mean, tremendously, which of course just helps the whole community, but not just the content, but having those coaches. It's really, there's no words to describe how easy of a decision it is. And I'm not one to promote, like you guys have probably never heard me say that. That's because I've never been so sure about telling people to get something. I mean, this is it. This is really it.
It's awesome. All right. Thumbs up from Greg Morrison.